Say, you know what? Caitlin Clark's a diva. I talk to people inside the organization. I got people everywhere. I do. I mean, you can make fun of me, whatever, but I do. And what I'm telling you is 1,000% true. Danny.
So you hear him saying it's 1,000% true. Everybody, the organization hates Caitlin Clark. The organization wants nothing to do with her.
The WNBA thought this move would solve a problem, but instead, it may have created an even bigger one. What started as a simple league decision has quickly turned into one of the most controversial conversations in basketball. And once again, Caitlin Clark is at the center of it all. This time, however, the reaction feels different. Fans, players, analysts, and even rival supporters are all asking the same question. Why did the WNBA make this move now? And why does everything somehow lead back to Caitlin Clark? The moment the news broke, social media exploded instantly as supporters connected the dots, pointing to the timing, the attention surrounding Clark, and the massive impact she has had on the league. Soon, one question dominated the conversation. Was this another example of the Caitlin Clark effect? That alone sparked chaos. Some fans supported it, others criticized it, and everyone seemed to have an opinion. Rival fan bases accused the WNBA of reacting to Clark's popularity, while others argued the league had no choice because attendance, ratings, and media coverage have all changed dramatically. Whether people like it or not, many believe Caitlin Clark is a major reason why. The debate soon stopped being about the rule itself and became a larger conversation about influence, attention, power, and who benefits most from the Clark era. Meanwhile, Indiana Fever fans watched the situation unfold in disbelief, feeling that no matter what happens in the WNBA, Clark somehow always becomes the headline. Good news, bad news, league changes, or controversies. Everything seems to circle back to her. Then the conversation shifted again when Lexie Hull entered the discussion. The moment her name appeared, Fever fans paid close attention because they see Lexie as a fighter, a loyal teammate, and someone who truly understands the pressure, criticism, and spotlight that Clark faces every single day.
Centric problem. This is a problem about the organization. This is a problem with management, how they're run, the precedent that they're setting. Hey, if you don't hold my bath water, if you don't follow me around with some toilet paper ready to wipe my ass after I take a shit, then you know what? We gotta let you go. Uh-oh. Let's take a look, see what Scott Agnes had to say. An update for subscribers and Fever fans. After the Indiana Fever revoked my credentialed access, I want readers to understand what happened, why I stand by the reporting, and what it means for future coverage. Good afternoon. I want to share an important update regarding my coverage of the Indiana Fever. Indiana Fever Public Relations informed me via email that my credentialed access to all team events had been revoked. Didn't even call him. Somebody who's been covering for the team for a long time. Didn't even call him. Made relationship at cold business. They said it was due to, quote, spread of inaccurate and unsubstantiated information, and cited my tweet about Caitlin Clark being ruled out 100 minutes before they defeated the Portland Fire on May 20th. That could have been the straw that broke the camel's back. But don't you be fooled. They were pissed that Scott Agnes let everybody know, damn, she hurt her ankle in practice last year. They were furious about that. Then we roll into this season. Lower leg injury for Aaliyah Boston. Scott Agnes gets word. Oh, it's a meniscus tear? They're pissed that Scott Agnes reported it was a meniscus tear. This was just the straw that broke the camel's back. Fever PR both briefly spoke with me before the game to ask about the tweet and state that they believed it was false. However, there was no meeting or further conversation before the decision to revoke.
And suddenly, fans began connecting Lexie Hull to the growing controversy. Social media exploded with theories. Reaction videos appeared everywhere, and comment sections quickly turned into battlefields. Once that happened, there was no going back because supporters were no longer just debating the WNBA. They were debating the future of the league, the future of Caitlin Clark's influence, and the future of how the WNBA handles its biggest star. Then came another uncomfortable reality. The people who disliked Clark's popularity were not getting quieter. They were getting much louder. And every league decision seemed to fuel the arguments even more. That is what made this story so powerful. Not because everyone agreed, but because nobody agreed. One side believed Clark was transforming the sport, while the other believed the attention surrounding her had gone too far. Right in the middle of that battle stood Caitlin Clark once again, the face of the conversation, the center of the storm, and the player everyone could not stop talking about. Then something fascinating happened. Fans began realizing this was no longer just about one rule, one decision, or even one season. It had become about something much bigger.
Details and was updated before tip-off to include head coach Stephanie White's pre-game comments. As soon as the Indiana Fever find out who that trusted league source was, yeah, they're gonna go after them. So whether it's a he, she, they, them, it, whatever the fuck you are, they're coming after you. Here's a portion of that story. Clark was visible at practice on Tuesday, but White said Clark did not participate. She got treatment yesterday and went through workouts after practice, she said. I reported earlier that there is no new injury or concern. White confirmed that. Quote, she's healthy, said White, adding, we're not managing anything. This is just a back issue that we want to make sure we give the time to be ready. Contradicting herself, Stephanie White doesn't have her story straight off the bat. I also wrote that it was part of a strategic management plan for Clark, who missed all but 13 games last season due to several injuries. That was not to insinuate load management, but rather emphasize the precautionary measure given what she experienced last season. I interpreted strategic management plan as load managing, as I think everybody else did. Scott. That's kind of what that means. This is the Indiana Fever's fourth game in 8 days, with another one coming on Friday against the Golden State Valkyries. Clark is playing almost 31 minutes per game and is one of several players to wear a back heating pad around her back when not in the game. There's a lot of stress on the body when ramping back up to a full workload, and she hadn't played significant minutes since last July. This is how beat reporting works. Report the news, gather additional context, speak with sources, and update readers as new information becomes available. They hate that. They absolutely hate that.
The Caitlin Clark era has become impossible to ignore because supporters believe the league is changing in real time. Attendance records, viewership numbers, media coverage, sponsorship attention, everything is growing rapidly. And with every major change comes another debate, another controversy, another headline, and another argument. That is exactly what happened here. Now, the WNBA finds itself in a difficult position because no matter what decision it makes next, someone will blame Clark, someone will praise her, someone will criticize her, and someone else will defend her. That is the reality of being the biggest name in the sport. After the latest controversy, one thing became absolutely clear. The Caitlin Clark effect is not slowing down. It is getting even bigger. The reactions are becoming louder. The debates are growing fiercer. And if this latest chaos is any indication, the next chapter could become even more explosive than the last.